So what I want to really talk about are what are some of those financial cornerstones that we should be aware of that can really help us when it comes to preparing for our financial futures. And I'm going to go over some key concepts. And what I want to encourage those that are joining us today to do is jot down some notes. Some of these cornerstones are going to raise some questions in your mind, and that's a good thing, because that means you're going to start critically thinking about what you're doing for you and your family for now and in the future. And you're also going to have an opportunity to learn more about some of these things, because we're not going to be able to go deep into all of them. But I want to talk about the importance of having a strong foundation. And so no matter what you're doing from a financial services perspective, if it's building out your finances for you and your family, making sure you can retire, maybe you're going to buy a home and you're going to look at the house, or maybe you're starting a business. All of those things have one key part in common, and that is a strong financial or a strong foundation. A house has to sit on a strong foundation so that when storms come along, it doesn't come crumbling down. A business has to be built on good values and ethics. That's its foundation. And your finances have to be built on a strong foundation as well. And that foundation has 4 key components. Today, we're going to talk about 2 of them. We'll delve into one a little bit more than the other. But I want you to think about, what are your finances made up of? Should be made up of 4 key components: protecting your most valuable assets, understanding how to get your money to grow, but how to do that in a way that it's safe, minimizing the impact of volatility in the markets, and also keeping as much money as possible in your pocket. And I want to talk a little bit about, how does money grow? It interests me a lot to see how we work very, very hard for our money. You know, sometimes we do a lot of overtime. There's people working multiple jobs. And the goal is that they want their money to work just as hard for them as they did for it. But the question is that happening? And where you put your money matters. When we talk about growing your money, there are some simple concepts you should be aware of. And one of them is interest. And there's different types. There's simple, there's compound. But I will tell you that compound interest is the one that allows your money to grow the fastest. In fact, your money can grow exponentially. And so I want to talk a little bit about the rule of 72, which simply says that if you divide into 72, the interest rate that you're getting on your investment, we can tell you in years how long it would take your money to double. So as you can see here, we show you 4 different interest rates. And clearly, the higher the interest rate, the faster your money doubles. In this example, someone who's 29 and put $10,000 into a vehicle that was generating an interest could determine how long it would take for that money to double so that it would be there for them when they need it the most. The first one is a 1% interest rate. Well, that's like the savings banks. And I share that because, believe it or not, that's what the majority of people are doing. They don't really understand how money works. But we know that 72 divided by 1 is 72. So if that's where your money is and you're hoping that it'll be there when you need it, while it will be there, it won't necessarily be enough to help you take care of the things that you need to when you retire.
And then you might end up being like working at Walmart or something because, you know, you put your money in that vehicle, right? Mm-hmm. So, you know, putting it there, it's like your money's not growing. But, you know, Kim, when I look at the others and I see the other options, I'm blown away. I'm like, wow, where can I get that?
Yeah, absolutely. And believe it or not, to get a 10% rate of return on your money, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to do that. And you don't have to have a lot of money in order to leverage those kinds of returns. And you see the difference, right? I mean, Nekei, if you had an option, would you rather have your money growing at 4% and get $40,000 when you're 65 or $320,000 when you're 65, right?
$320,000 all the way. I need to cover.
Absolutely, absolutely. And these are some of the key components that people need to understand. But they also need to understand that where you put your money has some risk associated with it. And I love to talk about what is the real effect of risk, right? So, when you look at this slide, you see that someone, let's say, Nekei, you had $100,000. It's 2017. You're doing great. You're seeing your portfolio grow, and bam, 2018 comes around and your account takes a hit. Now, in 2018, the markets were down about 39% worldwide. But let's make believe it was down 50%. You got $50,000. How does that make you feel?
Not good.
Not good at all, right? I often say people watch their 401k become a 201k, right?
Oh, wow, 201k.
Exactly. But we always hear about, the markets rebound and we've gotten all our money back. And so the markets have gone right back up 50%. But look at how much money you would have after that, Nekei.
Right.
Is that what you would have expected?
No, actually not. I thought that, hey, when the market goes back up, I'll just go ahead and just go back to where I was. Isn't that knowing how it's supposed to work?
Well, we have to look at it from the bottom line. And the markets may have rebounded and they may have gone back up 50%. But at the end of the day, it's all about how much money is in your account. And so if the markets went up 50% or 25%, whatever that percentage is, it's going to be based on your current account value, not what it once was. So as you can see here, in order for you to capture all of the losses, the market has to do close to, if not double what it did going down. And in this case, that would be 100% rate of return. That doesn't happen overnight.
Right.
So this is really important to know, because as we're building out our finances and preparing for our future, we have to take risk into consideration and really understand what it means to our overall portfolio.